Tony, thank you so much for joining today for the Dev Speak Easy.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us a bit more about your company.
Sure. I'm Tony. I'm the developer advocate for CyCode. And we offer a complete software supply chain security solution to help secure source code, dependencies, the actual developers, and pretty much every other aspect of the software development lifecycle.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So how it works? What do you have in this platform? And wait a second, just a second before that, how is to be a developer advocate? Because we're in the same position. I think it's super interesting to see that from other companies.
Definitely.
So.
Well, a lot of developer advocacy looks like for our particular platform is essentially getting the word out and letting people know all the use cases that there are for the CyCode platform. One of the challenges of the CyCode platform is that it is truly one of the first security solutions that analyzes every stage of the Sdlc. So there is quite a bit to talk about, quite a bit to document, and a decent bit to explain. But one of the biggest strengths of this particular platform is it is able to aggregate insights from multiple points of the Sdlc. And what I mean by this is, let's say you want to check which of your branches have, or which of your repos have branch protections enabled. That's a relatively simple thing to check. I dare say you don't really need too much other than just manual checks. But what if you want to see which of your Kubernetes clusters deployed to production, and you also want to see which of those deployments does not have branch protections enabled? Well, that sounds like something that is more of a complex query, but CyCode has a knowledge graph that is able to generate that sort of information very easily.
Nice.
Yes.
That sounds really cool. And actually, pretty recently we created an integration with
We sure did.
Yeah.
We sure did. We actually created an integration for JFrog's Artifactory and pipelines as well to help keep track of any binaries or deployments that might happen in those resources as well. We have, I believe, 30 plus integrations as of now, including pretty much every source code management system you can think of. GitHub, GitLab, even Garrett.
Nice.
Yeah.
Even Garrett.
Even Garrett. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. But probably people still using it, yeah.
Definitely. For the people that like it, they really like it, and we fully support it. But beyond just that, we also support Kubernetes, Terraform, several other cloud distribution platforms, AWS as well. And we are constantly adding new integrations, so if your company has something that we don't have, chances are we could probably add it very quickly.
Yeah, I saw that by myself. Whenever we added the pipelines and Artifactory, it was super quickly. Like, I think that your developers are great and immediately.
Absolutely. Our developers are led by another superfrog, actually, Loehr. He's phenomenal.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yes.
I love this guy.
Absolutely.
So wait a second, most of your developers are in Israel, right? Based in Israel?
They are, yes, they are. Our R&D team is based in Israel.
All right, so how you're splitting? You have one based in Israel, one based in the US?
Sort of. We have a bit of a distributed global team.
Nice.
We believe that our work can be done largely asynchronously. Of course, we meet up whenever we need to, and everyone, it seems to be pretty flexible about scheduling.
Yeah, but, after COVID, everyone are super flexible.
Pretty much, exactly. That's.
Thank you.
But yeah, that's largely it about CyCode.
Nice. So how's COVID? I know it's not related to the interview at all, but still, how was all this situation like?
So I actually started with CyCode during COVID, believe it or not. Right, and they had largely perfected their onboarding process when I started. That's another great thing about the company starting basically right before COVID is they very much normalized the asynchronous workflows that are required by a distributed team, even as it pertains to just a team working from home but based in the same region. So, yeah.
Stuff in the beginning, like, have you really met most of your team in person? I think it's like pretty rare, right?
I've met most of them, except for my teammates based in Israel. I actually have not even been there yet, but fingers crossed, I'll get to visit soon.
Yeah, we'll see you in July. You have to come to Yala.
Oh, absolutely. I'll definitely be applying there, and if my founders think that it's a good idea for me to come, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Please bring him, please.
Absolutely, I would love to.
That would be awesome.
Perfect.
All right, so tell me a bit more about CyCode. What is different in CyCode? Like we have so many security solutions all over the world. You know that better than me. What makes you special? Why?
It's an absolutely fair thing to ask. I think that one of our biggest strengths is the fact that because we have oversight over the entirety of the Sdlc, we can derive complex insights that are only possible by this high-level overview. In addition, this allows us to monitor the developers involved with creating a platform. Such functionality, I think, can be best shown by our anomaly detection functionality, which, let's say you have an engineer who put in their 2 weeks, and suddenly they're cloning a bunch of repositories, an alarming amount, perhaps even a suspicious amount of repositories. We will flag that and make sure that security has visibility into the issue. I'm sure that there's potentially innocent reasons why that could happen, but the only way you can really find out is by having that act be visible and allowing those conversations to be had in the first place.
Cool. So basically, most of your users are the security managers, right? The CISO and other team members in the group.
Absolutely. I think that CyCode's benefits it's hard to boil it down, but I think that a few of the benefits are oversight, accountability, and visibility. Yes. I find that security really suffers when there isn't that visibility. And when you have shadow IT, shadow dev, and other, maybe even just dependencies that you're not aware of your organization using.
Cool. And what about priorities? Like I tried your software, I think it's great, but whenever you're getting a bunch of security issues or some alerting, how I can prioritize it, how I can decide what I'm going to do first. And I remember that you have one of those tools. Come on, and please tell me more about the knowledge graph. I think it would be cool.
Definitely. Well, the knowledge graph is phenomenal in that it can also be used to provide custom alerting and custom queries. So let's say you have let's say you're beholden to, say, PCI requirements, which I'm struggling to think of an example off the top of my head, but you can actually formulate specific queries based on, I guess a good example is you can force two-factor authentication to be enabled, and we can provide governance over that, ensuring that there's that nothing slips through the cracks on that, if you will.
That's cool. That's very, very cool.
Yes.
And can you show me some new features or something that we're going to release soon, please?
Well, I think one of our especially fun features that we just introduced is the threat intelligence dashboard. And like, for example, there was an attack on Rust Decimal, which is a Rust dependency that just happened.
Yeah.
Well, we pretty much immediately after that was discovered created a threat dashboard alert for that. Same thing with Log4j, is we provide an alert through our threat dashboard that also is tied to a query that you can then use to diagnose your own repositories and see if you do have Log4j or Rust Decimal or whatever the malicious dependency may be. So it does come back to oversight at the end of the day.
I didn't try that, so it looked like a huge dashboard that's showing me the problem and where I can find the dependency, I guess?
Yes.
The exact dependency that's
yes, our executive level dashboard is also phenomenal for identifying violations, potential secrets that could be hard-coded, just about any other issue in that realm.
All right. First of all, thank you. Thank you so much for the information. I really, really like it.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And tell me a bit more about SwampUp. How is SwampUp so far?
SwampUp is phenomenal. There's been some really incredible sessions, and I've already learned quite a bit. I'm looking forward to your session later as well.
Thank you.
But yes, it's been excellent. I'm grateful that I got to come this year.
I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you so much for joining. And go to CyCode booth. You're gonna love it.
Absolutely.
Thank
Absolutely.
you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great